Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the 24th of July for Veterans event presented by Involved Impact and Operation Enduring Welcome. My name's Joe Sylvester, and I'm here alongside Tom Lopez, Alderman Tom Lopez. And we've been involved with the 4th of July for Veterans event through Operation Enduring Welcome and Involved to Impact for the last several years. I've been involved for the last 3 years, where we usually do things in person at Riverside Barbecue. Tom, is that how we did it before my involvement?
Yep. So a little bit of background of these organizations. All these names are probably a little confusing. Operation Enduring Welcome was founded a year ago formally. Its mission is to build stronger community between veterans and civilians. And that was sort of out of a labor of love that Amber Logue and I have been doing for like the last 7 years, I want to say. We've been doing activities at Delena's house, like the Christmas hallway decorations. We call it Floor Wars. We have them compete over decorating their floors for Christmas, and then they win gift cards to local businesses. We have a chili cook-off, St. Patrick's Day celebration, and a 4th of July event. And in the past, we've had that 4th of July event hosted and organized through Positive Street Art, through a partnership with them and Riverside Barbecue. We would be using it as a free event for veterans and a fundraiser to raise money for murals, such as this lovely one behind me, that were put up around Nashville to kind of show passion for veterans and support for them. So that's called the Hearts and Minds series. A few years ago, we started Involved to Impact, and Joe is a board member. I'm the president of that. And Involved to Impact seeks to build synergy between leaders and inspire positive leaderships through service. So Involved to Impact, you might see them around town doing things like helping Operation Enduring Welcome, organizing the Honduras outreach team, helping individuals that might be running fundraisers or have their own kind of pet passion projects see those off the ground, because we think leaders working together and helping address areas of need builds better leaders. So this is our 5th 4th of July for Veterans celebration. In the past, we've had things such as hot dog eating contest and games and performing artists and musicians. So we brought a couple of the musicians from past years back here again. We've had to kind of update it a little bit due to the COVID-19 epidemic. And particularly this year, we're focusing on the veterans over at Delena's house, because we want to make sure that they're, as representatives, the newest veterans to Nashua and veterans with the least means, they're getting a positive experience that reflects the respect we have for their service. So we're focusing on them, and we think this is going to be a great show. So thanks for hosting, Joe.
Fantastic. So if people want to find out more about Delena's house, where can they go? Do they have a web presence?
They are a program that is run by Harbor Homes. So they could go to harborhomes.org or New Hampshire Partnership for Successful Living.
So check out Harbor Homes or Partnership for Successful Living, but do it after the show, because we're going to get on with the show. But before we do, we want to say some special thanks. Special thanks to Kelly Creative Services, Soul Sisters LLC, the Veterans of Foreign Wars Nashua, post number 483, Nashua Lodge of Elks, 720, and some very special contributions from Alderman Patricia Klee, Alderman at Large and President of the Board, Lori Wilshire, and Trivia Night NH. That's me. Happy to host, happy to do what I can. Tom, can you tell us a little bit more about these special people who've made this all possible?
Yep. Well, so President Wilshire and Trish Klee have helped us for as long as they've been aware of the event, really. And they're very good supporters. We also have Soul Sisters this year, because Riverside Barbecue is no longer operating in the same way. Soul Sisters is similarly a business that specializes in barbecue. Kendra Susie's really good at preparing meals, and she has repeatedly gotten a perfect score on her health department exams, which is, as any restaurant owner knows, a little difficult to do. So we, during the time of an epidemic, we want to make sure we're taking every precaution possible. So she prepared individually wrapped meals. We gave them out and as in full compliance with all the health code and with appropriate social distancing and masks and all that kind of stuff. So she did a really good job. The veterans really appreciated it. In addition to her support, we also received support from the Nashua Elks Club, and the VFW. And the VFW and the National Elks have been getting more and more involved and have been helping us run barbecues and events and activities at Delena's house to kind of help the people staying there get a little more engaged in the community, feel a little more welcomed. While we can't run the same kind of events that we were hoping to do because of the COVID-19 thing, they were happy to help us out and support this event. Shoshana Kelly is the owner and chief talent, I think, behind Kelly Creative Services. And so in addition to being an alderman at large, her business is very helpful to us too, and they sponsored our food. So we're very grateful to them as well.
Great thanks to everyone who helped. And as is only appropriate, we're going to start things off with the national anthem. National anthem is being sung for us this evening, virtually, of course, by the talented Alan St. Louis. Alan has the world record, carries the Guinness World Record for most public, correct me if I'm wrong here, Tom, most public performances of the national anthem of anyone. Is that true?
Yep, Guinness Book of World Records holder. So well, he's on record as being the most numbers. So he's essentially the most experienced man to sing this song.
So who better than Alan St. Louis to sing our national anthem? Those of you at home, if you are so moved, stand, gentlemen, please remove your ball caps as we hear the Star-Spangled Banner.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave? Oh, say can...
No encores. We're not going to do any encore performances today. Thank you, Alan St. Louis, for your rendition of the Star-Spangled Banner. We're going to move right ahead into a very special guest speaker mentioned earlier. She's the president of operations for Operation Enduring Welcome. You're going to be hearing from Amber Logue. Now, Amber and Tom, as they mentioned, as Tom mentioned, have been working together for 5 years, was it, Tom?
Yep.
That's fantastic. So Amber's a big part of what's going on tonight, and it was only right to let her say a few words. So here we are. Amber Logue, President of Operations for Operation Enduring Welcome.
So that was Amber live from the Delena's house site.
The mural behind you and the mural that was behind Amber, where can people go if they want to see these things in person?
So the mural behind me is actually part of, is actually part of the Hearts and Minds #3. This one's on Spring Street behind the National Post Office. This is only one section of it right here. This is called The Promise. So this one, the promise to keep veterans in our hearts and minds because they kept us in theirs. So it depicts veterans with their families and their loved ones. The mural right behind Amber, the big American flag one, was actually the first one we did. That one was called the Patriot, and that was the first in the whole series.
Just some of the wonderful things that Involved Impact, Operation Enduring Freedom, and Positive Street Art have been doing for downtown Nashua. If any of you out there are looking for ways to get involved in your community in a meaningful way, reach out to any of those organizations mentioned, and you can get involved. We're going to get into our next speaker, coming virtually to us. Of course, it's going to be Alderman Ernest Jetty. Alderman Jetty serves on the Board of Aldermen along with Tom Lopez. And I know that they work closely on several issues for the city of Nashua.
Yep, and Alderman Jetty is himself a veteran, so it was very kind of him to join us for Operation Enduring Welcome's board. We have a number of veterans that are on our board, including Dave, who runs the barbershop downtown, Basil Mansfield, and the input that they give us is crucial to us being able to reach out and connect with veterans. And I know Alderman Jetty practices right downtown as a lawyer. He's like probably 3 doors down from Delanus, so he's pretty familiar with the people down there. He's a part of the community, and so we got a couple words from him right here too.
This is Ernie Jetty, alderman from Nashua's Ward 5 and an Army veteran from the Vietnam era, sending my greetings to the veterans at Delanus House. Today our country commemorates the Declaration of Independence, by which the Continental Congress declared that the 13 American colonies were no longer subject to the rule of King George and Great Britain, but were free and independent states. But that was just a piece of paper, which would have had little consequence had it not been for the brave volunteers who came together to battle and defeat the British Army and Navy, forcing Great Britain to recognize the new country of the United States of America. And so it is today that America remains free and independent because brave men and women like you had the courage to serve in our armed forces. Thank you for your service and enjoy the celebration.
And thank you for your service, Alderman Jetty. And wow, that was a great, moving speech from someone who really knows what is going on with veterans, someone who clearly cares. Tom, can you tell us any more about what it's like to serve with Alderman Jetty?
Yeah, Alderman Jetty is a very humble servant of the people. He's very detailed, he's very diligent, so you can count on him. If there's any kind of city contract or if there's any kind of budget, he will thoroughly read it, he will thoroughly review it. He will be the one to catch anything that may be of concern or anything that could be interpreted differently. And he's also very good about recapping that all to his constituents. So he just works hard. He's not a loud, outspoken member of the Board of Aldermen. He's deliberate and he just takes his time and is careful with what he does.
Nash was very lucky to have both him and you serving on the Board of Aldermen. So the next act is not a speaker. We're done with speakers for a moment. We're going to move ahead into the musical portion of the show. We're going to be hearing from Mark Oswald of Best Not Broken. So when the world switched back on, Best Not Broken is performing all over the place. I know they have a show upcoming at the Tupelo Music Hall, an outdoor, socially distanced show at the Tupelo Music Hall over in Londonderry. I think it's Londonderry. Coming up, check the websites, check your social media outlet of choice to find out when that's happening. But we have for you now, coming to us virtually from Best Not Broken, Mark Oswald.
This is Mark Oslord from Best Not Broken, and I'd like to thank the Involved Impact crew and Operation Enduring Welcome for having me on to do a couple songs for you. Not going to waste too much time, but this is a song by Best Not Broken, and it was off our last EP that came out in the fall of last year, and it was called. What was it called? The other guys aren't here to ask, so I'm going to say When Yesterday Comes. I think that's what it was. But the song is called Avoid the River. Here we go. These drinks, they flock to me, a liquid currency with too much time to regulate this poison unto me. I know the things you do, you used to know them too, but now I see you drowning in the water under you. Well, you say it true, but don't be so black and blue. You're moving on to oceans where you'll never find the truth. You're still a small fish, can't master this, so I try to expand. Good luck among those animals, I'll stay here on the land. I know I'll never get you back, I know I'll never get you back, I know I'll never get you back, but avoid the river, call me crazy. I know I'll never get you back, I know I'll never get you back, I know I'll never get you back, but avoid the river, call me crazy. Small fish, can't master this, no concrete under your feet. In vitro fundamentalist, don't get sick of all the poison. I know I'll never get you back, I know I'll never get you back, I know I'll never get you back, but avoid the river, call me crazy. I know I'll never get you back, I know I'll never get you back, I know I'll never get you back, but avoid the river, call me crazy. Me crazy.
That was fantastic. Mark is someone we've always been able to count on when we've needed performances, when we've needed people to step up and help, and he can even carry stuff for us as well. He's always there. He and his lovely wife Samantha, who's also very, very active with Involved Impact and Operation Enduring Freedom. Thanks to them both, but specifically right now, thanks to Mark for that wonderful performance.
Joe, we've actually got two more too. You want to hear?
Oh, two more from Mark?
Yep.
Even better. Let's go straight into it. Here's two more songs. Well, at least one more, and then maybe we'll talk some more from Mark Oswald.
All right, this next song is not a Best Not Broken song, but it is a song that I wrote for my solo project, which is called Dead in 4. It has not been released yet, but will probably be later this year, I imagine. It's called Addendum. How it started, the explosion or some moldy holy man. If nothing's certain, then I'm certain it's too much for me. Or maybe I could use another drink. And we carry all the pieces, but we don't know what to do. It's like holding all the cards but not playing through. It's like breathing is the mystery we tried to solve ever since you. I'm feeling every breath but not coming to. How about you? In life, I ask you, brother, to live small or push the boundaries of excess. If one thing is certain, that if you've got more than you could ever need, a little giving back would do some good. Oh, we carry all the pieces, but we don't know what to do. It's like holding all the cards but not playing through. It's like breathing is the mystery we tried to solve ever since you. We're feeling every breath but not coming to. Don't hold back from what you're thinking. Lay it on me, let it sink in. Another mental barricade and another ballroom serenade. Don't hold back from what you're thinking. Lay it on me, let it sink in. Another mental barricade, another ballroom serenade. Oh, we carry all the pieces, but we don't know what to do. It's like holding all the cards but not playing through. It's like breathing is a mystery we've had to solve ever since you. We're feeling every breath but not coming to. How about you? How about you? About you.
Mostly got that.
Oh, Mark, I think you got all of it. Let's go into one more. Do we have one more from
Right.
Mark?
My last song is one that
Here
I
we
did
go.
not write
Yes, we
for
did.
any of the groups that I play with. And it is a song that's actually inspired by all the staying home that we've been doing recently, thanks to COVID-19, and all the time you got to spend around your pets. This is a song by the Weaker Thans. It's called "A Plea from a Cat Named Virtute." Why don't you ever wanna play? I'm tired of this piece of string. You sleep as much as I do now, and you don't need much of anything. I don't know who you're talking to. I made a search through every room, but all I found was dust that moved in shadows of the afternoon. And listen to those bitter songs you sing. They're not helping anything. They won't make you strong. So we should open up a house, invite the tabby 2 doors down. You could ask your sister if she doesn't bring her basset hound. And as for things you shouldn't miss, Tape Hiss and the Modern Man, Cold War and card catalogs, to come and join us if they can. For girly drinks and parlor games, we'll pass around the easy life of absolutely no regrets. And maybe later you could try to let your losses dangle off the sharp edge of a century. And we'll talk about the weather or have the way there used to be, and I'll cater with all the birds that I can kill. Let their tiny feathers fill disappointment and lie down. I'll lick the sorrow from your skin, scratch the terror and begin to believe you're strong. But all you ever want to do is drink and watch TV. Frankly, that thing doesn't really interest me. I swear I'm gonna bite you hard and taste your tinny blood if you don't stop the self-defeating lies you've been repeating since the day you brought me home. I know you're strong. 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 Thank you guys. Check out my band That's Not Broken, and also stick around for all the other acts who sent in lovely videos like mine supporting this wonderful cause. Thanks again, Tom Lopez, for having me. Involved Impact. Boom.
Boom indeed. Thank you, Mark. It's always great to work with such great talent. And we've been very blessed, at least the last 3 years that I've been involved. We've had some great acts come and perform for us, some of whom are going to perform tonight, some of whom were unable to just because of notice or technology or things like that. But thank you to Mark. Thank you to all of our performers who are going to be coming up. We often have Hunter involved. We're going to have Matt Jackson later. But before we get to any of that, we're going to hear from the mayor of Nashua himself. Mayor Jim Donchis is going to be coming up. Now, Mayor Jim has worked alongside us. He's been a great partner in many of our endeavors. So most recently, or perhaps not most recently, but recently, in terms of our online endeavors, Mayor Donchis ducked in on our Masks for First Responders charity fundraiser that we did at the beginning of this COVID process. I was fortunate enough to work alongside Tom, and I think what was it, our third show that Mayor Donchis ducked in on and offered a few words of support, and that was a very successful operation. Tom, what's it like working with Mayor Donchis? Is he a pleasure to work with? Is he as nice as he seems to work with?
I've never really seen him be rude to anybody. He just seems very relaxed and mild-mannered. He has an interesting sense of humor. I would just say he's a very subtle guy.
Well, here is
although I must say he has like a sudden burst of passion for things like dancing in the streets. I mean, not a thing we're probably going to do right now, but in past years he's been very passionate about that. Very interested in the waterfront. He gets excited. When he gets excited, it's interesting to see.
And trains. If you want to get Mayor Donchis talking, start ask him about the railway. He enjoys trains. Mm-hmm. Do we have him queued up, Tom?
Yep. I will
right.
Right over here.
Here we go. We're going to hear from Mayor of Nashua himself, Mayor Jim Donchis.
Full disclaimer, it's a little bit of a blurry video, but that's all right, guys. You're going to see the world through my eyes.
This is Mayor Jim Donchis, wishing a happy 4th to all of our veterans. Our independence was declared 244 years ago, and thanks to your service, we've been able to maintain our freedoms ever since. I know today we're having a celebration at the Delanus House down on Factory Street. I want to thank the Delanus House veterans specifically, and I wanted to mention to you that I also live in a so-called Delanus House. The previous owner of the house we have here on Rockland Street was Griff Delanus, after whom your home is named. One more thing for our Delanus House veterans, thank you for your service. You live, of course, close to the Nashua River. We're undergoing a plan on the Nashua River. We're going to improve Renaissance Park and just make the whole area nice for you and for all the residents of Nashua. So again, back to our veterans, thank you for your service. I hope you have a great Independence Day.
Thanks, Mayor Jim.
That flag was just playing with him, huh?
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's the other thing you need to know about Mayor Donches is he's approximately 7'3". So flags and ceiling fans are an occupational hazard. Yeah, but he's always there for us. He's always there for the veterans. He's always there for any good cause that's going on. He's also very approachable. So recommend any citizens of Nashua to let him know what you need. He's well, again, when the world switched on, he does the coffees with the mayor events. I think they've moved that online. I believe the mayor's office is doing some sort of online meet with the mayor type of event that if people want to. And you know, so when I lived in Nashua, I no longer live in Nashua. I live in Merrimack now. But when I lived in Nashua, we had a situation where our trash hadn't been picked up for several weeks. And I went and met with Mayor Donches. And that afternoon, I got a call from the Director of Public Works. And our garbage got picked up. Our street had been had fallen off the map, apparently. And he got our garbage picked up. So recommend any citizens of Nashua to just reach right out to the mayor's office, and they'll take care of everything for you.
Everything. They'll just make it all go away. One thing I will say is during this COVID-19, one thing that people may not have really thought about is the mayor has basically been responsible for redeveloping an entire administrative structure that the city's been using for over 100 years. So he's been very, very busy just figuring out who can come in every day, who can work from home, how our not entirely cutting edge information technology infrastructure is going to support that. I mean, we were lucky that we just had started doing things like buying backup servers and investing in more updated software and that kind of stuff. But like many communities, we had to struggle to kind of figure out how to do business for our citizens under a completely new and unknown climate for an undetermined amount of time. I mean, back in April, we didn't know exactly how long the governor was going to keep us locked down. So even just doing things like holding meetings of the Board of Aldermen, we couldn't figure out. We tried a social distancing one; it didn't exactly fly. We tried doing combination ones, and you know, if you watch any of the Board of Aldermen, we're still figuring it out. Where some of us are calling it in, some of us are on the Zoom, and we forget to hit our microphone, so we go through our whole canned speech, and then we have to start all over. So there's a tremendous amount of work being done in the background. But one thing I need to give credit to Mayor Donches for is he has been trying very hard to be present for his citizens. He's made it a point to do regular videos because very early on, we were hearing from people that they were nervous, they were anxious, and they wanted to know what the mayor was thinking, what was going on, and that kind of stuff. And while as a leader, you don't have all the answers, he's made an effort to show what he does have and to be very candid that he's how we're working for more. So like you said, we do have those town hall meetings. We have the Board of Aldermen meetings. You can always email the Board of Aldermen and express your public comment. We've started holding meetings through Zoom so that members of the public can call in and speak live during public comment. As always, they're streaming on public access. You can watch them on YouTube under National Board of Aldermen. So we've been trying to at the same time scramble and maintain services while completely reinventing some of the infrastructure underneath it. Keep it at least something similar to what you're used to. And starting next week, we're going to start even more scrambling, I think, because we've been planning our reopening of City Hall for City Hall services. So it'd definitely be good to check out the NashuaNewHampshire.gov page. You can just go to Go Nashua, find out the changes to City Hall for City Hall services like motor vehicle registration or registering your dogs, that kind of stuff. And looking a little further ahead, because again, we're not really sure exactly how these times are going to work out. Figure out exactly how you can vote. We will likely be doing in person, but we're also going to be allowing, as state regulations allow, absentee voting and things of that nature. So check out the city website. We've been doing a lot of work to make sure that it's communicating effectively what's going on.
That's great. It's important to know. You know, we're here for you, veterans. Your city workers are here for you, veterans, and all the work that's going on behind the scenes to make sure that government remains responsive and accessible to you. So reach out to the mayor's office, reach out to the alderman if you've got any concerns. We're going to get on with the show. We're going to hear from Alderman and State Representative Patricia Klee now. So Patricia Klee also works on the Board of Aldermen with Tom and also Alderman Jetty. So she would be one of the ones to reach out to. She's an alderman at large.
She's a local ward alderman for Ward 3.
Oh, excuse me. She's Ward 3.
Yep.
So
but she is a state rep, Joe, and you're running for state rep, aren't you?
I am. I'm running for state rep. If anybody's watching this from the town of Merrimack, I'm running to represent you. I'm part of the slate of 8. We're looking to get some representation, some positive representation in the state house. So please vote for me and the rest of the slate of 8. You'll be seeing signs around shortly if you are in and around Merrimack, New Hampshire. Joe Sylvester for state representative.
I mean, that's certainly not a lucrative position, but there's a lot of different ways to serve your country and your state and your community. And state representative in New Hampshire is a great opportunity to really make a difference.
Yeah, and I was in
how decisions are made. You know,
as soon as I found out it pays $200,000 a year.
There is not. There is $100,000
a year.
There's $100, $100 single dollars that you will get at the end.
I gotta make a call. Let's hear from Alderman Klee.
Good thing you're not in it for the money. Oh, but you get a free face shield.
Oh, well then, yeah, that'll be good. So yeah, we're gonna hear from Alderman Klee, Alderman Patricia Klee, as soon as we get that queued up.
And we're off.
Hello, I'm Patricia Klee. I'm a state representative and alderman here in Nashua. I want to take today to say thank you. Thank you to all our veterans past, today, and tomorrow. We would not be here if it weren't for all of you. I am the wife of a veteran. He served during the Vietnam era. He was drafted and he went. Many of the young boys, young men who fought back 250 years ago, a little less, served. They volunteered, they were drafted, but they served. We are here today because of them. We are here today because of you. And I want to take this time to say thank you. Thank you for all that you have done. Thank you for your service. And thank you for those that have passed. 244 years ago today, they signed that declaration. They codified our independence. The 13 colonies said no more. And that was the end of it. We cut our ties with England. We became independent. And we have been independent ever since. I am proud to be an American. I am proud to serve as an alderman and a state rep here in Nashua and in the state of New Hampshire. And I am proud to say thank you. Thank you to all of you. I hope you have a wonderful celebration tonight. And take care.
Hey guys, my name is Matt Jackson. I hope you guys are having a great.
Sorry, that's a preview. There you go.
So, I guess we'll just go straight into. You already know who's coming. It's going to be Matt Jackson. Matt Jackson, local rock sensation. You can see him performing. I know that he's done some live shows recently at Boston Billiards. Down in the south part of Nashua. So check him out. Check him out at, I think it's mattjacksonmusic.com. I know he's also on Spotify. He's got a playlist on Spotify, so check out Matt Jackson. He's got some hot songs, and he's going to play a few of them. Is it, Tom, for us tonight?
He's got a couple. And Matt has been very, very supportive of Involved to Impact events. So we really appreciate him coming and donating his time for this too. So yeah, I'm a huge fan of him. He's done such a great job in the community.
Great guy, great participant in all these wonderful activities. Fantastic musician. I mean, just his stuff is really next level. I know that he's working on a new album. I know that he also, again, when the world was switched on, he was donating his time to teach music or to perform music at the Plus Company in Nashua. Great guy, great musician. So without further ado, let's hear from Matt Jackson.
Great Friday, and you're all geared up for an awesome 4th of July weekend. I'm so stoked to be a part of this. Tom asked me to play a few songs for you, and I'm happy. It's such a great cause and organization. So without further ado, this is a song that I learned out of Nashville by a guy named Johnny Cash. Well, I hear that train coming, it's rolling around the bend. I ain't seen the sunshine since I don't know when, and when I'm stuck in Folsom Prison, time keeps dragging on. And on and on and on, but that train keeps rolling on out of San Antonio. When I was just a baby, my mama told me, son, always be a good boy, don't you play around with guns. Well, I shot a man in Boston just to watch him die. Oh my. When I hear that whistle blowing, I hang my head and cry. Here we go now. Well, I bet there's rich folks eating in those fancy dining cars. They probably drinking whiskey and smoking big cigars. Well, I knew I had to come. That's why I can't be free. Don't not me. Those people keep moving. That's what tortures me. Free me from this prison here. This railroad train was mine. I'll probably move on a little farther down the line. Far. That's where I want to stay all day. And I let that lonesome weird soul blow my blues away. And I let that lonesome weird soul blow my blues away. Yeah, so I picked that one up down in Nashville and I was playing all those honky tonks on Broadway. I'm not a country artist, I should probably clarify. I do love country quite a bit though. To further demonstrate that I'm not a country artist. Again, not that I have anything against it. This is a song that I wrote, an original tune called Steppin' Out. And for me, this song was kind of about embracing more of what I'm about, which is trying to kind of empower people to love themselves more. And I know that's like a woo-woo word that gets thrown around a lot, but in a way of accountability, you know, like helping them provide a consistent structure in their lives that's really beneficial to help kind of affirm self-care and stuff like that. Anyways, that's what music's about, and this is what that song sort's about, stepping up into that. Stepping out of the shadows, stepping into the light. I'm getting off of the gallows, getting into the fight. See, I've been told to be bold is a way to end the cold, and on my own, hold the phone. Is there really no one saying that they're stepping out of the shadows, stepping into the light? I gotta say that it feels right. It feels so right. It feels so right. It feels so, yeah. Y'all, well, I've been kicking in a minute with some old fools, and I've been getting in a little bit of old school. The same. Why y'all so afraid of the darkness? Looking for a light, so I gave you a heart, kid. Ain't nobody gonna save you, so you went and dug the hole. So get yourself up out of it. Take your clothes off, get up naked, make a rope out of the life you faking. Telling you right now, I'll keep it real tight. Ain't nobody gonna shade on my light. I've been in the backstage, passing chances, got my eyes up front when I'm dodging glances from anybody and everybody who's not about a life. When you keep on growing, damn right. Well, I'ma keep on going tonight, but we keep on glowing like I'm stepping out of the shadow, yeah. Stepping into the light. I'm getting off of the gallows, yeah. Getting into the fight. See, I've been told to be bold. There's a way to end up holding on my own. Hold the phone, is there really no one seeing them there? Stepping out of the shadow, yeah. Stepping into the light. I gotta say that it feels right. It feels so right. It feels so right. It's so right. Yeah, well, sunshine gonna shine up, dry up all of the rain that you grind for a minute and you tired of pain. I get it, hurts and worse, it ain't no pick. Ain't going to get mad, but there ain't no trick. Gotta get down with it, gotta get loud with it. Full stop, don't be getting on the merry-go-round with it. Take a second and recognize the day was the best you could do. I don't just what I do, but it's true. Meanwhile, your heart is diamonds on yourself, but somehow you're scared to shine. So let me lift you up like an air balloon, and let me give you something I thought you knew. Well, you're a goddamn beauty, so clip them heels like they made of rubies. Yeah. Stepping out of the shadows, come on now. Stepping into the light. Let's get it on, yeah. Getting off of the gallows, yeah. And getting into the fight. See, I've been told to be bold is a way to end up holding on my own. Hold the phone, is there really no one seeing them there? Stepping out of the shadows, yeah. Stepping into the light. I gotta say that I'm so tired in my soul, and I'm holding on to something I don't recognize that's living there behind my eyes. I'm tired in my soul, and I'm holding on to something I don't recognize that's living there behind my eyes, yeah. But I'm stepping out, y'all. Stepping out, and I gotta say that it feels right. It feels so right. It feels so right. It feels so, it feels so, it feels so damn right. Looks like I got about time enough for one more song. Sorry, it is very hot. I had to turn the fans off so I could do this recording, so I'm sweating profusely. Hopefully I set up the light so y'all can see that. So I talked a little bit about it before. An important part of self-care and growing is setting boundaries. And, you know, I learned boundaries from a lot of different people in my life. And one of the people I learned those boundaries setting from was TLC. So this is a TLC song that I cover, that I have a lot of fun with. And yeah, they set a firm standard in their life. And I think you'll understand as I play it. A scrub is a guy that thinks he's fly, and is also known as a buster. He's always talking about what he wants and just sits on his broke ass. So no, I don't want your number, no. I don't want to give you mine, and no, I don't want to take you nowhere, no. I don't want none of your time, no. I don't want no scrub. Scrub is a guy that can't get no love from me, hanging on the passenger side of his best friend's car, trying to holler at me. I don't want no scrub. Scrub is a guy that can't get no love from me, hanging on the passenger side of his best friend's car, trying to holler at me. Trying to holler at me, yeah. checking me, but his game's kinda weak. And I know that he cannot approach me. He's looking like glass and he's looking like trying to get here with the deadbeat ass. So, no, I don't want your number, no. I don't wanna give you my name, no. I don't wanna take you nowhere, no. I don't want none of your time, no. I don't want no scrub. Scrub hasn't got a king, no love from me. Hanging out the passenger side of his best friend's right up at me. I don't want no scrub. Scrub hasn't got a king, no love from me. Hanging out the passenger side of his best friend's right up at me. Alright, so I'm not there, but I think somebody can hold you accountable. We're gonna do a call and answer part. If you don't know it, it's really easy. I'm gonna ask a question, and you go, oh yeah, son, I'm talking to you. You've heard the song, you know it. If you don't, you'll catch it wrong. Real quick, here we go. If you don't have a car when you're walking, oh yeah, son, I'm talking to you. If you live at home with your mama, I'm talking to you. If you have a shoulder but you don't show love,
Yeah, I'm talking to you.
With no money, but no, I don't want no scrub. Don't want no. I don't know. I said no. I don't want no scrub. Scrub is a guy that can't get no love from me. Hanging on the passenger side of his best friend's ride, trying to holler at me. I don't want no scrub. Scrub is a guy that can't get no love from me. Hanging on the passenger side of his best friend's ride, trying to holler at me. Trying to holler at me. Folks, it's a real problem in my world. Scrubs are always trying to holler at me, especially on the passenger side of their closest compadres, right? You'll have a great weekend and a happy Friday.
That was pretty awesome.
That was fantastic. Always a pleasure to hear from Matt Jackson. Check
No
him
one
out.
ever scrubs
Yeah,
my direction.
and just watch out for scrubs.
Whatever.
If there's a lesson to the 4th of July, it's
All of
be
the
careful
people
with
trying
those
to pick
scrubs.
you up and yeah. That is a
So
problem.
we're gonna move. We're gonna change gears abruptly. This is our last speaker of the evening to wrap things off. We're doing this for the veterans. We figured it'd be nice to close things out, hearing from a veteran, somebody who knows what it's like to have been there. It's U.S. Army veteran Rafael Calderon. Tom,
Yep.
can you tell us a little bit about Rafael?
Well, Raphael is not just any guy. He, if you look at that big American flag that was behind the behind our President Amber, that is called the Patriot, and Raphael was one of the ones who stepped up to help us paint it, along with Rick Everhard. And so Raphael is very interested in public health. He's considered himself a community health worker. He works up in the northern part of New Hampshire now, but at the time he was very active in Nashua. And so he gave us a little bit of a platform when we were first starting, even before Operation Enduring Welcome and before Involved to Impact, even before Positive Street Art really had its own voice and image. He helped us, he reached out to us and engaged us so that we could kind of get the word out there of what we were trying to do for veterans. As you mentioned, Raphael himself is a veteran, but Raphael is Dominican. And so the U.S. was conducting operations in that area. He joined to support things that were helping his country. And then after he completed his service, he became a citizen too. So he's joined us here in the U.S.
Just fantastic. It's so wonderful to hear from people who've really benefited from, the promise of America, what we can offer and how we have a system set up where people can come and contribute and get as far as Raphael did. So let's hear from Raphael. And yeah, Raphael will be the last speaker, the last performer of any kind for the evening. I believe it's not so much a speech. He's got a little video tribute to the veterans lined up. Very talented guy in so many respects. Not being an artist myself, I have the utmost respect for people who can look at a wall and say that's where a mural needs to go. That's never been a strength of mine, but people like Raphael and Tom and people at Positive Street Art are always out there doing good in the community, making it look great. And once we get that video queued up, we'll be hearing from Raphael Calderon.
Now, this is a YouTube video, so it's a little more complicated than the other ones were.
Huh?
That was awesome. Raphael
Yeah.
bringing it home. He took us to the beach.
This took us to the beach. He showed us that, you know, even after their term of service, there's nothing veterans can't do. Incredibly talented guy, and we're super grateful to him for so many reasons, as we are to all of the veterans. There's nothing left to say tonight, but thank you. Thank you to all the veterans who've served this country, who've made our way of life possible. Thank you to all of you who have come back, and like Raphael, you continue to contribute. Thank you to city officials like Tom Lopez, like Alderman Jenny, like Alderman Klee, Alderman Shoshana Kelly, Alderman Shoshana Kelly, and Mayor Donches for doing all they do to make sure that the country you serve is taking care of you in some way. I know there's always more we can do, but there are those working to make that possible. That's all from me. Just a heartfelt thank you. I've got veterans in my family. Lots of friends who are veterans, and just can't thank you enough for your courage and your sacrifice for this country. Tom?
It's a privilege, and I'm sure everybody that you mentioned would say that it's a privilege to represent such a great community, especially with all of the veterans who stepped forward to serve our country. It can be trying sometimes, you know, as a elected official, when we're dealing with the unknown and when we're trying to make decisions with and for the community, but it's a privilege. We appreciate it, and every year I look forward to 4th of July, celebrating it with the veterans, their unique stories, their energy, their appreciation. So just one more shout out, I guess, to the guys over at Delena's house. Thank you for your service. We appreciate you, and we're glad that you're here in our community. Thank you.
Happy 4th, everybody. Be safe and stay home if you can. If you can't, wear masks and just take care of one another.